All right, let's talk a little bit about what it means to be a member here at St. Paul's United Methodist Church. First and foremost, anyone is welcome to attend St. Paul's, and that's true whether regardless of where you're at in your faith journey, regardless of where you are at in your personal life, anyone can attend. And there are going to be some people that are going to want to come to St. Paul's who do not want to commit to the membership requirements to become a member. And that's totally fine. We have people who have been coming to St. Paul's for years who have never wanted to become a member. And I'm so happy that they are here and I want them to continue to be here. But becoming a member does have certain expectations. As a pastor here, I do want membership to mean something. And so in the United Methodist Church, because that's the larger global church that we are a part of, we have a set of 3 membership vows that you will take. The first vow is basically asking, will you become a member of Christ's church? And that just means that the United Methodist Church is part of a larger thing called the general church, or sometimes we would say the Catholic Church, not like the Roman Catholic Church, but the Catholic and Universal Church. And so we are a part of that church tradition, and we all share a voice together, and there's mutual respect across denominational lines. So, we're all on the same team, whether you're Methodist or Baptist or Presbyterian or Lutheran or Catholic or any of those things. So that's the first vow. Will you become a member of Christ Church? Will you be on that team? And if you will, then you say, I will. The second vow is about the United Methodist Church. Now, we here at St. Paul's, we are a church here in Joplin, Missouri, but we are a part of the United Methodist Church, which is a global church. We have churches all across the world. And so those churches express themselves in different ways, and their ministries may look different than what they look like at St. Paul's. And so when you say yes to that second question, what you are saying is, I want to be a part of the United Methodist Church, and I will support those ministries. And then the third question is really about membership here at the local church. And there are 5 things that we ask people to consider before they're becoming a member. And these 5 things are really important. These 5 things I usually try to share with others and tell them, if you're not ready to commit to these values, that's okay, but it's maybe not time to join the church yet. So I will share these with you. And if you feel like, you know what, I'm not really ready to do that, that's fine. That's okay. There's no problem there. But I do hold these expectations, and we as the church hold these expectations for one another. So the 5 things are prayer, presence, gifts, service, and witness. So we ask that you support the church in your prayer life. So that means you're going to be praying for the church, which is to pray for the people in the church. So the people who aren't here that we're hoping do come to the church, the people who are volunteering, the people who are showing up for the first time, the staff and the pastors, other church leadership, we ask that you pray for the church in that way. Your presence means that you are going to show up regularly. So showing up on Sunday mornings is way more important, I think, than people think. Sometimes we feel like, I'm a little tired or something, or we were traveling, and so I'd rather not get up and go to church this morning. But your presence makes a Sunday morning worship experience so much better for someone else. There are countless stories about how people have shown up to church and someone like you will have greeted them. And then when they come back that next Sunday, if you're there again, it's going to set them at ease. And they're going to say, oh man, I remember when that person welcomed me into the life of the church. And your presence means so, so much. And that is true well or far beyond the worship experience on Sunday. It's true in children's ministry. It's true in service projects out in the community. Your presence makes a difference. So you've got to be willing to show up. Your gifts really involves your tithes, your offerings, and that can be that through your time. You're going to give to the church through your time or your talent. So maybe you can sing, so you want to serve on Sunday. Maybe you can write, so you want to write out a prayer. Maybe you're great with kids, so you serve in that way. Maybe you're good with technology, so you get involved on the tech team, or you're good at cooking, so you serve in the kitchen. Whatever it is, you want to get involved in some way. And then your gifts, that means you have to take some portion of your income, and you want to work toward a consistent pattern of giving. Now, every one of us is in a different place on this, our giving journey or our generosity journey. So wherever you're at, that's okay. What I ask for those who want to become members is that you begin thinking about what would it like for me to demonstrate a regular pattern of giving. That can always increase and change over time, but it's about the habit and the discipline and the consistency of giving. So I do ask that for members. Then there is, prayers, presence, gifts, there's service. So we want to be a people who are known for serving others in our community. So service is really important. You can serve people within the church or beyond the walls of the church. And then the last thing is witness. You have a witness, and your witness is what you say and what you do. And that witness is a representation of Christ and how Christ is showing up in your life. And it's also a witness to the church. So if you can imagine, if you had a sticker on the back of your car that said St. Paul's United Methodist Church, and that people knew that about you at all times, how might you want to carry yourself or conduct yourself in the world so that people would say, you know what, that's a church that I want to be a part of. And remember, this always goes back to our vision, which is to be a community that loves like Jesus. So that's a little bit about what it means to join the church. I would love to answer any questions that you might have. I would also love to help you take that step of becoming a member here at St. Paul's because you make the church better. Thanks.